Premier League champions, English Super Cup champions, and we're still waiting on some new signings. I don't know where you lot are, people, but I have hope for a left winger. I've become resigned to it's just Zolis, and that's what it is. Big up Zolis, by the way. In isolation, I like what we're seeing, but we were told Zolis is coming in. If we would have got that game changing left wing, I'm not suggesting he can't be, but if we had that too, we're really great. And it leads me to ask you lot straight off the bat, yeah. Do we sell Martinelli regardless of if a left winger comes in or not? Because I am giving more food to that thought of regardless Martinelli might be going purely because you weren't in the match they scored in the Community Shield. I think I speak for every Arsenal fan. We're big up Mascara, big up Benjamin White, but we probably need some defensive reinforcement. So let's see exactly what the Athletic have said on their deal sheet. Smash the like button and let me know your thoughts. What has happened this week? After seemingly being offered to Manchester United and Chelsea, it has been an eventful week for Myles Lewis-Skelly. It has. You got nothing to apologise for, young fella. But when you scored in the community, when you scored in the game at the Emirates, boss the Community Shield. You know, if we bought him, do you know that like if we bought you from somewhere, people be gassing it more. Of course, I like Bruno G and what he could be. Gas him individually, anyways. Rice as well. Zuba Mendinho. Myles Lewis-Skelly is a baller, bro. Baller. They were calling me a madman when I said him and Rice should have partnered each other for England at the World Cup. I don't care if it's left back, centre mid. Unpopular opinion, I think he'll play 90% of his games in central midfield. I do think there's scope for left back, whether that's to cope with injuries or games where we're suffocating the opposition. He's a left back on paper. You move into midfield. It's a cheat code, really, and a cheaper way to get another midfielder in there. The Man United and Chelsea fans, you knew you weren't getting him. I saw you lot go into war like Bloods and Crips over Myles Lewis-Skelly. You lot don't rate our players until you're linked with them. Then you show your true faces. He scored against Como. He celebrated with a heart gesture. He played a starring role and a great assist for Ricardo Calafiori. Myles Lewis-Skelly is fully focused on establishing himself at Arsenal. He's not exploring or pursuing a move away. So it's just media speculation. Pre or profit, they said. Man, that's a future captain. And again, he's going to be at the Euros. Dalman's going to be at the Euros, etc. Gabriel Martinelli also informed Arsenal he was not interested in joining Galatasaray after the Turkish club made a 45 million euros offer. Is there any legitimacy to the Osimhen links? Arsenal and Galatasaray have been in dialogue over several players. Principally, is that the word? Martinelli. But there are no active negotiations over a potential transfer for Osimhen. Arsenal would like to add a defender and an attacker before the September the 1st deadline. Quansah has been the top defensive target, but Arsenal are hoping Aston Villa are prepared to compromise on their 60 million euros price tag. I mean, they've seen several key players go, and you know, he's got 2 years left on his deal. They've seen, you know, they've been ransacked. It doesn't look like Emi Martinez is leaving now, but they've been ransacked. There's still rumors over Emi Martinez. There's rumors over Ollie Watkins. You want to kind of keep the guy. 28 years of age, 60 million. I mean, come on, man. If I'm honest, can we do this for about 40 odd? I don't, for what it's worth, Aston Villa are right to stick to their guns, if I'm honest. Arsenal have explored alternatives. Their preference is a defender who can play at both centre-back and right-back, hence their interest in Jarell Quansah of Bayern Leverkusen, who have no intention of selling. Before the summer window, Arsenal made inquiries about Atletico Madrid's Marc Pibil. He had a great game against us, but the Spanish club are equally determined to hold on to the 23-year-old. So what we're finding out is it's not easy to sign good players, is it? So it is what it is. Arsenal would like to augment their attack. Their focus has been on the left wing, but there is some flexibility around this should the right forward become available. The club have long-term targets such as Kenan Yildiz and Julian Alvarez. Now, Barcola, well, I don't know how the Barcola thing's going to work. It seems like Liverpool are the front runners. We were unable to get Vinicius Jr. or Morgan Rogers. And in the beginning of the summer, we were linked with Kenan Yildiz. So egg on our face where the top targets are concerned. Julian Alvarez, again, it depends where you read. Was 1 minute Barcelona are not going to give up. Atletico are going to just sell to anyone apart from Barcelona. I don't know. And obviously he can play on the flanks, whether he wants to do that or he wants to play through the middle, in which you look at Barcelona, you will play as a striker 9 times out of 10. I don't know. And are waiting to see if the market renders one available. So that's reactive, not necessarily proactive. Or did we try the proactive thing and it didn't work? Alternatively, they will have to pivot to alternative targets. Arsenal's projected pursuit of the Blackburn Rovers 18-year-old striker Igor Sejon continues. He'd be the third striker to join us. Got the Crystal Palace lad and the Liverpool lad arriving. The England under-18s international declined signing a professional contract with Rovers, who instead extended his scholarship agreement into a third year. Arsenal made several bids for Sejon, but Blackburn have been unwilling to sell, leading to a standoff. Which players could be leaving? Mikel Arteta's squad selection for the Community Shield gave some indication who may be surplus to requirements. It was no great surprise that Fabio Vieira and Reece Nelson failed to make the squad. They're wanted by Hamburg and West Ham respectively. And even for like, I get it. I actually understand it financially. And if you want to move to another club, it has to make sense. I get it from the club's point of view. I get it from the players' point of view. But on top of the obvious points I've raised and have raised throughout the summer, if Reece Nelson and Fabio Vieira, if you genuinely want to leave, surely it's better you leave now because you have been involved in pre-season. But the quicker you leave, the quicker you can bed into whatever new team that is, people. It was more noteworthy that Arteta could not find a place on the bench for Martinelli, Ethan Nwaneri, or Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, I would say Martinelli of the three shocks me because Nwaneri has found himself as the odd one out. You might just be a moneymaker, whether I want you to go or not. Gabriel Jesus, the writing's been on the wall for a while. Martinelli, I did think you'd make the squad because you're a tool in the toolbox. And I think out of the three, it says there, that's the one that drew my attention the most. Nwaneri's situation is delicate. Arsenal recognise his talent, but accept his pathway may be congested. You look in the left 8, the right 8, the Odegaard Eze role. You look on the right-hand side, whether we rate Madueke over him out there or not, it does look congested, and he probably needs a Kai Havertz to depart, a Mikel Merino to depart, one of these kind of guys to depart for naturally squad spots to open up. And it's annoying, man, because I look at Nwaneri to a degree how I look at Foden. I've seen Foden play as an 8, I've seen him play as a 10, seen him play right wing, seen him play left wing, seen him play as a false 9. And I felt that, especially Arteta said he could be a false 9. I think in terms of filling out positions throughout the season, there's a role. But in terms of cold-hearted minutes, can't guarantee you're going to make 20, 30 proper appearances for Arsenal. So you might just be the right player at the wrong time. The pathway is blocked. Now, if it's me, I'm keeping him. I'm loaning him out at the very minimum, but I don't know, people. Furthermore, his sale would be recorded as pure profit in financial calculations, as academy players have a book value of 0. So that gives food for thought, people. Apparently, AFC Camden has said Bradley Barcola would prefer a move to Arsenal over Liverpool, but Arsenal are not looking to pay anything close to what PSG is demanding. So it looks like you're going to go to Liverpool. You're going to go to Liverpool, then, people. And to be fair, 145 million is absolute madness. Again, people, it's been described as delicate where Nwaneri is concerned. We've appointed a new under-21s head coach in David Horseman. Big him up, and we wish you all the best at this football club. Again, there's no active negotiations over Osman, so we can kind of quash that. Bayern Leverkusen have informed Arsenal Quansah is not available for sale. So we're probably going to have to pay through the nose. So again, as we approach the start of the season on Friday, I did think a defender would have been in here. I've mentally accepted another attacker isn't going to arrive, but it's not over till the fat lady sings in it. Until September the 1st, I don't know.